Hello my dear Aquarius, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between October 16 and October 31st, 2017 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I used the Mary L Tarot with Mary White and I have already shuffled and chosen your cards. This is my shorter mid-month reading. It's hopefully to be shorter anyway. I will come back with a longer 15 card spread for the beginning of November readings. Then I also use a smaller deck as well, and I'm still on the hunt for my next deck. I want something that's equally good as Legacy of the Divine. So I will just tune in for a few seconds to your reading, then we will continue. Okay, my dear Aquarius, this is your past. It might go into September and the beginning of October. And here we have the Devil reversed. So the Devil reversed means that you have kind of left an addiction, that you have been strong enough to take control over an addiction. It might also mean that you have encountered your shadow, you have exposed your shadow, you have started to look more deeply into yourself. You might also have left the devil like a difficult person on the outside of you that is triggering you in some way, probably representing also your shadow. So it's a lot of shadow work that has been done for Aquarius. And yes, the devil is also everything that you have denied for yourself. When you deny yourself of we need love, we need people to connect with, we need a lot of things as human beings, like needs that are settled in our DNA and in our soul. And when we don't see any way that we can fulfill this need, we might start with some kind of addiction instead. Instead of having a fulfilling love relationship, we might turn to drugs or food or whatever kind of, and overindulging in this. And if we can't have like find anyone we can trust with a committed love relationship, we might be sexual abusing and other things similar to this. But here it seems like you have overcome the devil or exposed the devil, or looked deep into your shadow and see what your actual talents are, what your actual needs are. Maybe you have picked up your strength from underneath here. So the devil. Next card here is Six of Cups, and it also comes in the reverse. So it seems maybe you are diving deeper into your own self. So it seems like there's inner child work going on as well. And it's not that you're resurfacing and are almost done. It's like you're diving even deeper into these shadowy realms. First, you were maybe dealing with outside difficulties, challenging people, your own shadows, addiction, things like this. Now you're diving even deeper to find your deepest rooted feelings, like what was the reason for the devil in the first place? Why did you invite this shadow into your life? It was probably because of some trauma that you have been through, or a wound that you might have had, and now you need to go even deeper to excavate this. With the Six of Cups, it might be also someone not, it's a reverse, someone not wanting a reconciliation, and it's understandable if you don't want to make a reconciliation with the devil. And it might also be that other people have seen you as a challenging person and not want to reconcile with you. It might go the other way around as well. And here you have a 10 of discs, so that's very positive, even though it's like the devil riding on your own back. So you have retracted him from the shadowy realms, and now he's up to heaven together with you. It's like you have found out more about yourself, more about your actual needs, more about what's really making you tick, more about why you are doing certain thing and why you are reacting in certain ways in certain situations. The Ten of Discs is like a fully grown situation when it comes to money and real estate and family situation and things like this. In overly much earth might create a lahar, like a mud flood. But here it's more like different things in your life that you thought that you wanted might have become like a little bit of a burden to you, like a responsibility for a family or a work or something similar, or whatever you have. When you you buy a lot of physical stuff, like a car and a house, and that's also mean responsibility. Like there's not maybe so much time for rest. You need to maintain all those stuff that you have bought, and a more simpler lifestyle might maybe make you more happy. But the Ten of Discs is also saying to me that you might be aiming for this, what I said in the beginning. When we are dealing with the devil, we might like cover up for what we really need with addictions. But here you might have found out what you really need, like your basic needs. I need a roof over my head, food, water, shelter. I need my family. I need romantic partner. I need my children close to me. Whatever it is that you have found out that you need and your body needs. It might sometimes, when you have addiction, it might also be that we are malnourished. We might be overweight and still be malnourished because the food isn't containing as much nourishment as it did even underneath like with the Second World War, where my ancestors had like a limited amount of food. They had food stamps. They were not allowed to have like buy too much. They needed to have a food stamp to be able to buy food. But they were more well nourished than we are today because the food contained more nourishment, and it's mostly because of our like how we fertilize our crops these days. We use fertilizers that's kind of bring out. We put in two different substance. Yes, okay, I can't find a better word for that. And we take up 50 like we put in 2 nourishments and we take up 50. So if we use like stable manure for our crops, that's more healthy for the human population and everyone that's about to eat this food, or also for the critters and the horses and everything. They need like real manure on the on the land to get real nourishment, not just this fertilizer that we like, mineral fertilizer that we use today. It's making our lands starve. Okay, so it's also like this, and you can see this in another picture as well, like if you not only with food and your body but also with your life. Maybe you are surviving like on handouts. You have a like on the outside you have a beautiful home and a very well paid job, but you are not rich in time and some things that actually makes you happy. So things might have become a burden to you, things that everyone said that you should have this, but maybe it's not really making you happy. Okay, so it's I think it has been a lot of soul searching for Aquarius, trying to find out what really makes you tick, what really makes you happy, what you really want in your life, and what's just a burden. And sometimes it might also be like we have been conditioned by our parents or caretakers to receive love in a certain kind of way as well. And if our caretakers, for example, were not very loving, we have learned that love should be like this, not very loving. So we are searching for partners that's not very loving, because then we feel, oh, this is love, this is exactly how it should feel, because we have learned love from our parents or caretakers. And this might be you kind of seeing this and okay, so this partner of mine, she is actually not fulfilling my needs, or he is not actually giving me love. He's giving me something else, but it's not love. It's it's destructive. And you have kind of seen this because you have gone to the depth of your waters, the depth of your being. And it's like you have seen things like in a greater scale, like seen your overall life situation and what's good for you and what's not. So with this foundation, you will be able to take a good decision for the future. And here we have the Nine of Cups also in reversed. So the Nine of Cups is a card for wish fulfillment and sometimes also overindulgence. So it goes well underneath the Devil here. So usually in the upright position, it might say that you have the relationship that you are supposed to have. It's like satisfaction. But when it comes, you see the Scorpio here. When it comes here, it's like... transformation. Maybe this what you thought you need wasn't actually what you need. It was just covering up for some deeper need that you felt that you couldn't get fulfilled. And we see that there's a stairway to the sun, so stairway to heaven, and it goes between the black and the white pillar. So you need to excavate both your darkest places and your lightest places to find access to your soul. And it's going to a lot of illusions and shadowy realms. And we have also this chess here, playing chess. It's like when you have people in your life, they are going to reflect certain things with you. Some are going to reflect your shadowy parts and some your white parts. So it's like a game of chess. The more you discover with other people and get to know them better, you also get to know yourself better, and you can see things in different contexts. This is looking like a male monkey, but it still have the Ankh cross here, positioned in the same place as the uterus on a female. So this is what it is. It's a stargate. It's a life bringer. And here we have the Scorpio that might be a death bringer. So we have life and death here in this Nine of Cups card. Nine of Cups card is usually saying that you need to start to envision what you want with your life, but it seems like Aquarius is more in this position of thinking what you don't want, and that's a good start, because when you don't know what you don't want, you can easily turn the compass to what you do want. So write a list of everything that's kind of devilish in your life: overindulgence, buying a too expensive car, having to pay the mortgage on that, and down payment and everything, and also maybe having a troublesome lover that you need to ditch, or parents that's not, you need to take a serious talk with because they are kind of using and abusing you in some way. So it might be different things. It might be also work related for some of you, that you are letting yourself be ruled, and now you have come to a place where you kind of see this, what you don't want. So write a list of everything this what you don't want that actually is a burden on your life, haven't been able to make you happier, actually worse. Okay, it's like when you feel that you need to buy something because this is going to make you happy. What you need to do then is actually look at the underneath feeling. Why am I wanting to buy this? Is this really something I need, or is this some kind of craving just because I'm lacking something that I can't control? If you, for example, haven't been able to fill your life with friends and lovers and this social thing that everyone needs, you might go and buy stuff instead to fulfill this hole. And it's a little bit what I see here. Okay. Here, really center, we have a Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands might be Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo character. But it's mostly like a little bit of a revolution that you do, that you become a little bit more self-centered. You are not so much thinking about what you can do for others. You're starting to think, what is really making me happy? This with the Queen of Wands, she wants to she takes projects like this and take them into the future, nurture them into the future. So you might have a person like this that's very creative, will create a lot of stuff in their lives, but all of those stuff, maybe when this grow up, it won't be so sweet anymore. Maybe it will try to kill you. So it's again like looking at this, what are you creating in your life? And it's very central. So you have a very beautiful creative force. So just because you might be downsizing certain areas of your life doesn't mean that it's over. It has just begun. It's like you're becoming a more positive creator. And well, she's very luscious, and she doesn't seem malnourished in any sense, and very great hair growth as well. And she has also this leopard skin here in the background. So it's like a very paradisic kind of shaman. So she's almost like a witch woman. So you have this power. It might have been what you have been diving for, to find this kind of power. Where do you want to aim all your resources, all your power, or all your creative power? And here you have the future, and it's a 9 of discs, and it's upside down. So you have both the feminine parts of the hermit, we can say. The 9s are connected to the hermit stage, and this is feelings and nourishment. So we know that Buddha went through a lot of different phases on his road to enlightenment. For it, while he was kind of starving himself, and it might be that you are in this this time right now where you can't really take in any nourishment, maybe not even being with other people. But I think either you are denying your actual needs, or you are going through some kind of awakening with the Queen of Wands centered here. It might also be that you have been abandoned by a fire sign, so you are not nourished anymore. Maybe they have left you because the relationship might have been codependent in some way. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner, but it seems like you have a lot of reversals here, and all my cards in the deck is in the like right position usually. Okay, we see the 10 of Cups being an upside down, but usually I have all the cards. So that might be a message for you as well. So usually I have all the cards in the right up position, but when I shuffle, they fly, and they might end up upside down, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 reversals here. And it seems like Queen of Wands and the 10 of Discs, this is something that you actually want in your life. So it's what I said, you need to sort out what's really important for you. And if it is another person that is important for you, and they have kind of left you, you might need to figure out why, and if you can get this person back in some way. Maybe you didn't put in enough effort, or you didn't show them that you cared. It might have been things like this, and it might also go the other way around, that you have abandoned a fire sign that didn't show to you that you were valuable for them. Okay. So that was in the now, the second part of October. So we need to take more clarification cards on that, so we can see if there's something more to be told about this. But we go into the future. I will take the clarifications later with the oracle cards. Another reversal. Okay, we have Page of Discs here, upside down. So Page of Discs, usually when it comes like this, it's a person that's born to do a certain thing in a certain way. It's like being born of being some kind of flower, and staying that way all your life, and nourish this what you already is. But here it's like almost denying what you are. The Page of Discs is also here, it's a baby, so that's hard to imagine, but it's a person being very loyal. They want to be They want to be loved by their society and taken care of by their society. So they're really trying to be good. And in that case, it might be easy for them to forget about who they were from the beginning and start to adapt and becoming someone else, someone that the surrounding wants, someone that the surrounding can accept and that the surrounding can love. So it might be a little bit of a hiccup here with your creative things, that you are, you need to go even deeper, like this descension that you are doing, to find out what's really your natural self. You have a lot of like scoops of conditioning above you that's not really truly you. So diving even deeper into the core, this is a seed of you. It's kind of this cobbling here. It's the seed of you, and this seed can grow into a 10 of discs, and a 10 of discs that actually would make you happy instead of a 10 of discs that might be a burden to you. So okay, next card here is the 2 of discs. So 2 of discs is baby steps, making changes with baby steps. Okay, so you have realized something about something. You have realized that your life is not truly happy, and that there are actually things in your life that not making you really happy, or you have lost something that made you happy, and now you're going to take certain measurements. It's kind of Eckhart Tolle has given such a good example of this. It's coming to my mind here because this is almost a person decaying, like in clay or in muddy waters. So it's the difference between like fighting against your life situation and actually trying to do something about it. You can have a certain life situation and you want to get out of there, but first you need to accept that whatever life situation you have, and like Eckhart Tolle is describing this, it's like if you are driving with your car and you are getting stuck in the mud, 2 wheels only on this, or maybe it's a bicycle, and you get stuck in the mud, this is what is. Okay, so you can't change this like in the now. It's what is. So it's not going to help if you are getting all frustrated and kicking on the car and cursing God or hating the world or whatever. The more resilient you can become in those situations and accept whatever comes to you. Like you can't control a situation. You drove on this road. You have driven on this road a lot of times, but now the rain has fallen and you were didn't see that it was all loose, so you got stuck. And this is like the challenges that we are being thrown from the divine, like. Destiny might be tricky like this. Okay, you're stuck with your car. Don't curse. Don't get upset. Kind of accept whatever happens. Don't mind whatever happens. So you're stuck in the mud. It doesn't have to be more worse than like driving on the highway. This is what is. It might disrupt your future plan, but it's kind of getting you here and now. So you can acknowledge that you want to get out of the mud, but you are still in the mud. So you need to take certain steps to get out of the mud. Maybe going into the wood, finding branches to stop underneath the tires of the car, or calling for help or going for help if you forgot your mobile phone at home. Nothing have to, you don't have to feel like, oh, this is so much bad luck. This is just what is. You don't have to get all upset with this. Why I'm having this lecture is because the 2 of discs, when you find yourself in a sticky situation, you might get really upset, like a roller coaster of emotions, and you're already kind of out of balance with all these reversals. So try to find a balancing point, like I don't have any control, I don't mind what's happening, I don't take this personally. Things like this might ease your mind and put you in a more level state where you're not flying off the handle. And with baby steps. You are acknowledging that you want to change the situation, but it's not going to be changed like in a second. And if it's bigger things than just being stuck with the car in the mud, it might be having a difficult relationship or a work that doesn't make you happy. It will take a lot of time. So patience is kind of needed. Not the patience until you kind of acknowledge that you kind of play dead, because this person is obviously dead. They have the coins on their eyes for the ferryman going over the river Styx. So it's only emphasizing also this with you going even deeper into yourself, into finding out what you are, going even deeper into the darker realms of you, kind of dying before you die. Actually, Virgo had a similar reading. They had the Two of Discs centered and the Queen of Wands, I think, upside down in this position or there somewhere. So it's you might have some connection with Virgo in this, or you're just going in the same road as to them. The next card here is the King of Wands, and it's upright. So this coming from the Devil upside down, the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands. Some of you might be dealing with two fire sign, or you might be, you have some person in your life that can kind of guide you on this soul's road, like this guidance in you becoming the King of Wands, or you guiding someone out of some kind of hellhole. So we need to give each other a hand when we are stuck in mud like this, and maybe you need to ask also for help. The King of Wands and the Queen of Wands together, it's kind of a team here. It's the same dressed card, so it might talk about a couple that might have had like a codependent relationship. Maybe one had drug problems and the other one was suffering from the first one's drug problem, but not getting themselves out of there. So it's a lot of with this step by step taking you out of a situation that hasn't really been able to make you happy. And it seems like you have the strength to do this, and it seems like you're not alone also to do this. If you reach out a hand, you might have a person there that can actually help you, or you might need to reach out a hand to help someone else. And it's much about acknowledging who you truly are, and forget about all the masks and all the walls and all the manipulation that you might have done to before. It's like this is giving up these old things and starting with something new that's more accordingly with your soul. Okay, so I will take some cards from the Vibrational Energy Oracle cards by Debbie A. Anderson. So I want to take a card for the Devil here. And what we have is moonbeam-filled waters. So that sounds really lovely, but moon is usually a rather painful situation. Well, I had it there, and then I will read this for you. You will see. The sight of moonbeams shining on a waterfall is spectacular. It captures the vibration of both light and sound in perfect harmony to the earth's rhythm. Yet we can get melancholy and feel disheartened in an emotional wave of dark sadness. Let this wave flow over you like water, washing away the emotions and releasing your soul to the beauty and purity of life in synchronicity. So I think this, what you are going deeper and deeper into your darker realms, it might feel, for Aquarius that usually is rather controlled, it might feel scary and like something is wrong with you. And this card is kind of saying that it's nothing wrong with this. It's actually good. It's healthy. So you don't have to worry or feel crazy or anything. Okay, so also the nines, that's upside down. Homeward bound. So the homeward bound is about connecting with the people that actually matters in your life, to find out what's really important. You are at a place where you feel a need of family love and forgiveness of past hurts. Home is a place of sanctuary and encouragement, and best of all, unconditional love. Whether this is an actual place in your life or one created virtually, you need this vibration right now. Seek it and welcome it to your life. So I think that maybe many of you might have regrets from the past and wants to reconciliate with maybe a person that before you might have shown off as you didn't care, and now you actually do care. So you want to reconnect with this person. You have found out the value of them, like with the 10 of discs and the Queen of Wands. It doesn't have to be a fire sign. It can be any sign, but a person that might have done a little bit of an uproar, and it might be you. And it might be you that have done uproar, and the person that you have left are feeling like you were home to them, that you were this home, 10 of discs, that you were representing something that that they don't want to live without. So it's like a forgiveness with this card, or bending one's head and acknowledging what's really worth something. Maybe before people fought for power or to be the top dog and things like this, but now when everything is a little bit kind of lost, what was the fight for? What was the big showdown for? It just were bringing a lot of losses. But in the same way, many of you might have done revolution that really were needed to left like an abusive relationship or abusive place of work. So also we want to see what the King of Wands stands for, like how will this energy help you out of the mud. And it's the two faces of mankind. So this is I don't know if I mentioned it, but if some person have been very cold, that person might open their heart now. And if you were very unconditional with your love, you might have become more strict with your boundaries. So this is how we learn from each other. It's kind of the alchemist card. Where there is a feminine, there is a masculine. A negative needs a positive and vice versa. You cannot create a harmonic vibration without first acknowledging and accepting the balance of yin and yang in your life. It is the law of vibration and energy, which is ever evolving. So we can feel a strong need for something or a certain someone. This is a love reading. So this is, it might be soulmates here that has gone through some deep problems, like, and it was not because they were faulty, it was for them to get to know themselves. So even if you have had a relationship with deep problems, drug problems or violence or things like this, it might have been there for you to start taking better care of yourself, for you to learn this. So even if there was an abusive relationship, you should really not go back, but you can acknowledge that this was heaven sent, this relationship, for you to learn something, because maybe you were in a pattern of always letting people abuse you, and when it got so strong, like this big headline news in your face, you had to do something, and you did. And this is something to be grateful for, even if it might have been very traumatic. Okay, so I will also take a card from the Vision Oracle of Visions by Cyril Marchetti to see a little bit where you are heading, Aquarius. So, future for my dear Aquarius. Okay, and yes, it seems like forgiveness. Like there's going to be a peace between warrior tribes and people actually acknowledging that they are worth something to one another, and not just one person acknowledging this and the other one trying to be headstrong. And so it's a lot with finding out one's own emotions and one's own true needs, and replacing artificial needs. Like if you are striving for power, for example, it's really a substitute for you needing love. So it's like coming to terms with what actually is, seeing the truth of what's actually worth something, what's making your life worth living. Okay, so my dear Aquarius, I hope this helped, and I want you to take really good care, and I hope to see you again in for the beginning of the November reading that will come actually in the middle of October. Okay, so thank you for watching, and bye bye.